Yo, what's good? What's good? We are here for a episode of the Real Rap Coalition podcast where today we're going to be talking about a rather interesting, discomforting, strange film. And I got a couple people here with me to talk about it today. My name is, for the purposes of this movie, Red Foreman, but you also know me as Bob Celeste. Who else we got?
Got Nick Elliott here. Matter of fact, I'm not him because to be him, I would have to be a predator. So I'm not Nick Elliott. I'm Lordy Lord, man. I could never be Nick Elliott.
I don't think Nick Elliott was a predator,
Yeah.
but
so fucking
so Showtime Slim, man. I will say, like, Luno and Pujols have both watched this movie more recently than I have. I didn't rewatch it, so they're gonna have to take most of this episode. But I don't think Nick Elliott was a predator. But we can get into it.
Come on, bro.
No problem at all. I'm glad to have this cast here. And as Slim said, for some, this may not be a movie that's fresh to you, especially since this came out in 1993. Might have been forgotten with the past, uncomfortable. But in a day and age where movies like Cuties are coming out, showing little kids shaking their asses and shit, I think that sometimes we got to get down into the evils and talk about these crazy ass movies. And,
right, though.
And much to in respect to Slim and anybody else who might not have seen this film, don't worry. We're gonna walk you through, step by step, the process of how this nigga Nick Elliott gets into possibly one of the worst situations a grown man can.
Thanks.
All right, and so the movie that we're talking about today came out in 1993. The movie is The Crush, starring Carrie Ellis, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And
this dude from Saw.
The nigga from Saw, man.
Got you. And we got Alicia Silverstone as Darian Forrester. Okay.
And I was told that I heard this from Art the first time I watched it. Alicia Silverstone was like one of the top, like, I guess, young actors in the 90s type shit. Actresses, my bad.
Her name is Darian?
In the movie.
Yeah.
Why the fuck I was thinking is Adrian? Who the fuck is Adrian?
Okay, so I do know about this.
Yes, we need to explain that because Pujols, the movie itself was actually influenced by a set of real events. All right, so what happened in this movie? From what I read, at least the first part of it was real. That there was like an obsessive younger like girl or whatever, and she started doing like very stalkerish things, but he nipped it. But this experience had such an influence on his life that he wrote this character into a movie. Now, the original movie, he used her real name, which is Darian, right? Yep. But apparently, the family found out. Yeah, they got sued. So
they had to change it.
So they rearranged
so basically, Darian and Adrian is the same. Like it's dope, it's one of them anagrams. Like it's the same letters, and he just mixed them up.
That's dope, bro. Because I'm like, Darian, was I watching the same movie as y'all? What the fuck? That nigga kept saying Adrian.
So I think the original one was Darian, and then after he got sued, they remade it and changed it to Adrian.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
Jeez. Now The Crush, for all those listening, the Crush is about essentially a writer named Nick Elliott. All right, he's got a job at Peak Magazine. It's like one of the best magazines out there covering new shit, and he ends up staying in a guest house belonging to Cliff and Liv Forrester. Okay, Cliff is played by none other than Kurtwood Smith, right? Red Foreman. Shout out Red Foreman. All right, and when he moves into the crib, they have a 14-year-old daughter who's mad good at the piano and rides horses and shit. And
and she's basically like a fucking genius or some shit.
Yeah, and she's mad smart and shit. Well, she comes to take a liking to this Nick Elliott guy. After introducing herself, she's like immediately drawn to this man, and some things start going a little bit in a, let's say, a weird direction, right? Now, this nigga, at first, he's driving in the street or whatever, right? And she's riding her rollerblades in the middle of the street, gets in the way and shit. He stops to a halt. He's looking at her, and immediately, you know what I noticed about this film, Pujols?
What's that?
Is that from the beginning of the movie, they're trying to make us look at this 14-year-old character like a woman.
Yep.
Because the camera starts going from her legs all the way up her waist and up her body and shit like that. Like we're supposed to be looking on her, but she's playing the role of a kid.
Well, to me, I mean, I didn't view it as that. I view it as we was looking at her through the eyes of this psychotic piece of shit, Nick Elliott. Like he's seeing her as he's sexualizing her. Like she got fucking rollerblades on and knee pads on. What? Why are you looking at her like this, weird ass?
Well, yeah, they're basically trying to make it look like, all right, he's seeing like a chick that he might perceive as like bad or some shit. At least I thought that he was looking at her like that. Now, look, people can say it goes one way or the other. This is only the first moment, but I just want to bring y'all to speed because I think in this movie right here, this dude was getting a little caught up. Like, all right, so he's in the crib, you know what I'm saying? He meet her and shit, whatever. Bro, this dude was in the shower, bro. And he was trying to get ready to go to work.
It's no way we can. It's so much before that scene, though, bro. That's like 30 minutes into it, bro.
Oh my
this
gosh.
First to me, like when I was like, bro, like this like 5 minutes into the movie, like she knocks on the dude's door like at 12 at night, and the nigga working, and he let her come in there. That's sign of, bro. Send her young ass home. You can't come in here after hours. Fuck are you doing? But yeah, Nick like, Elliott, he allows it. Goofy.
So like she's like this super genius or whatever. He's talking about the shit he's doing for work. He's like boring shit. You wouldn't be interested. Well, but then he started talking about it. She already knows some shit about it, son. It's crazy. And then she also basically was taking his like cigar that he was smoking or whatever, right? And she like smoked that shit and looking at him all seductively and shit. Like,
but you know what he said, right? Like I literally took notes for this whole fucking movie, man. You know what the nigga said right there, bro? He asked her, "Are you sure you're only 14?" Bro, get your bitch ass on, bro. Why are you asking? You sure you only 14?
Or
like, yo, that's a crazy question.
Yo, if the cops had that record, anyways. So
he's crazy.
So yeah, already like she's doing her little gimmick and shit. But instead of just being like a grown man and being like, all right, go home to your house now. All right, you're not about to smoke this. Nope, not about to get in trouble with your parents. Get out. You know, he's having this conversation. But I guess this movie needs us to have these interactions so we can have a movie. So whatever. This nigga, he's after that moment, I think they were talking about him going to like a party that that her parents were having and shit like that. But before that shit, she comes in the morning time to try and convince this nigga to pull up, right? Oh, she comes with like a present or some shit. It's just like some cheap ass bullshit ass glasses. But this nigga was in the shower bathing and shit like that, son. And so this nigga was like, you know, usually people knock and shit, and she's just like, whatever I did, you didn't hear, whatever. She's talking her bullshit. This nigga's like, can I get dressed now? She sits in the chair. She peeks into the room and looking at this nigga's ass, son. Like, why the fuck did they have this like little 14-year-old girl so evil and horny, bro? Like, why is she so
based off true events, man? Off true events.
But he was talking to her while he was in there, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, like at first or whatever. He's like, can you go? I gotta get dressed, and then like. She just waited, bro, and then she just looked inside at the nigga like this.
But you gotta know, like, okay, it's a kid in here. My door is open, right? Like, I would be like, all right, it's a 14-year-old girl in here. The bathroom door is open. I can at least close the motherfucking door.
Yeah, close that shit up. Because no funny, like, she shouldn't have even been able to do that shit.
That nigga, he's sick, man.
Yeah, nah, yo. But in any case, that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? He's got this project at work and shit like that. He got a report for those motherfuckers and shit like that. And he was first saying, hey, I can't go to this party because I got this work report to do, son. Yo, Shorty basically goes into his shit, right? And rewrites the files, yo. Rewrites the man's report for the story that he was supposed to publish and shit like that. Does it better than this man can and shit like that. Gets him all this like praise and shit like that, and gets for him to actually speak with the person he was investigating, Mr. Levant, right? I don't know how that shit is possible, but whatever, yo. She's a mega genius.
Mm-hmm.
But this dude was pissed, and he felt violated, son. But nonetheless, this man gets dressed. He hears the sound of piano. I'm gonna go over to their crib and shit like that for the party and shit. He goes, she's playing the piano and shit like that. They go outside and talk. He's like, yo, you're the one who rewrote my fucking report, yo? Yo, Adrian, you can't be doing that shit. She looks down and shit talking about, I just wanted you to like me. This nigga says, I do like you.
Man.
Yo, son. This nigga just falls for like the basic tricks in the book, son. Like, I'm telling you, son, like this nigga has no sense, bro.
So look, this is what I think, and that's why I see both sides, Pools, but that's why I don't think that he's an actual predator, because he's not actively seeking her out, and there are moments where he tries to like stop the shit, but at the same time, it's like, man. No, but what I'm saying, like a predator would have been all on that from the jump, and he really wasn't. But I think he's just like naive and idiot.
Are you saying he a victim?
No, I think he's naive and don't have no awareness.
But he would have to be a victim for all that to be true, then, right?
No, I think he's stupid. He's not a victim. He's just stupid.
Nah, you can't. We're not gonna blame that on stupidity, bro. You can't.
I think he lacked awareness, bro. He don't have He didn't understand what the fuck was going on. Like you said, how you would have got her out the fucking room. He didn't have any self-awareness to do that shit.
So letting a kid smoke your cigar and asking her, "Are you really 14?" That's just stupidity. That ain't.
No, I think that's a terrible question to ask. But that's why I'm saying, like, some of the other shit is like he was attempting to get her out of the situation.
What about taking a shower and having your door open with a 14-year-old girl?
So he was already in the shower. So it's like, I can't blame him for taking the shower because he was already in the shower
when you find out it's a kid in the next room over, wouldn't you close the door at least?
He don't have no fucking awareness. That's what I'm saying. He's
what do you mean he don't got no awareness? He's there. They're talking to each other.
That's what I'm saying. He's not understanding the situation. He's not reading the room.
The nigga 28. I remember. I heard him. I'm 28 years old.
It's a lot of grown people that don't have sense. He's one of them.
I'm not giving him that, bro. That nigga.
So you think he was actively seeking her out with this shit?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I disagree.
Why did he? Okay, we gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, because I mean,
from at this point.
Because I think at that point, I definitely didn't feel like there's anything seeking out. Personally, I thought that he was being clumsy. He had the door cracked and shit. He wasn't thinking at that moment. He fucked up.
Yeah, that's what I meant by naive. Like you said, he was making stupid ass mistakes that he shouldn't have been making.
But he's still responsible, right? You know what I'm saying?
Do you think he thinks she a bad bitch?
I think that he might. I think he might be at this point in the movie. He's kind of charmed by like the little quirk she got. I think that she sells him on a lot of like the little like talk bullshit that she does, and like she shows like surprising maturity in the way she talks and shit. And so he's getting kind of charmed. But that's like kind of his naivete. Like this nigga has a great ass job, but he don't got no bitch. This girl at the job is like his opportunity to get a bitch because I don't think he had one before. So this dude, like, I guess, whatever, he awkward. But
she is gorgeous, by the way. Like that bitch is beautiful, bro.
Yeah, I like the chick that he ended up with. But look, bro, they go to this party or whatever. He tries to confront her about the shit she did with his work, and she basically starts, being whiny about it. He's like, no, I do like you. And she goes, really? Then take me to this place by ourselves.
And so I think he was trying to hey, look. And so I think he was trying to appease her by saying that she, like what you said, like, no, I do like you. I think you cool or whatever. Yeah. But I think that's what he was trying to do with that. Now the situation where he let her in the car and drove her to a secluded place, I feel like that's some stupid ass shit that he shouldn't have did.
Not only is it a secluded place, that place is known for where teens go to make out and shit like that.
And he shouldn't have did no stupid shit like that. That's why I think he's more of an idiot than.
Come on, man.
I think he's more of an idiot than he wants to like fuck this girl at this point. I don't think he ever. Well, I ain't gonna say that, but like I think he's more just stupid. I feel like he's
bro. Remember, he was going over to the crib because he wanted some like type of explanation, like to try and figure out what was going on because she's acting up and she's like, all right, let me see what the situation is.
Right, he wasn't going there because he was attracted to her.
But Slim, at the same time though, she finishes that fucking piano performance. He walks outside and says, "If you're 4 years older."
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like dumb shit like that, bro. You can't say.
Why are you saying that, yo?
He's saying terrible fucking things. So what I'm saying is his words and his actions are kind of like not really,
They're the worst character ever, bro.
He might be, but I definitely feel like most of it is due to him being like naive and stupid. it's like stupidity. Like you shouldn't be doing these type of things as a grown man. You should know better. That's how I'm kind of looking at it.
So in any case, I think whatever, he's getting charmed by this kid, sadly, and she convinces him to take her to the pier or whatever, where I guess is like a known makeout spot. But she shows up there and she starts engaging in some character development and shit. You know, he's like, you know, I work really hard at my stuff. I don't appreciate you doing that. She's like, it's just, you know, people have always rejected me. Like I'm crazy or I'm some sort of freak.
She got into a manipulative bag. She was trying to manipulate that nigga.
But at the same time, though, that is 100% facts, and it's a warning, son.
Yeah.
If any chick tells you that most people think she's crazy and a freak, there's usually a reason.
That's true.
Right? Her only friend is that one Cheyenne chick from across the street, son.
Yeah, Cheyenne.
That shit was a warning, yo. Why don't you have mad friends? Why aren't you popular? Your family is rich, yo. Like,
you're a genius. Like,
you're a genius.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So what is, you know what I'm saying? So there was mad warnings and shit. And she's been doing stalker ass shit to him too. So I feel like, you know, so and changing his report. I mean, come on.
She was definitely stalkerish and like he should have cut it off from the beginning for sure. That's why I feel like he was just letting shit happen, letting shit go that shouldn't have been happening.
That's what I'm saying. So he ends up going to the pier with her and shit like that, and they're talking, and then eventually after he assures her like it's okay, you and I we're friends, like don't worry, like whatever else, she ends up kissing him and he don't reject it. There's a moment where they're making out, bro.
Hey, Luno, I will say that I remember that scene, and a problem with that scene is that he did not fucking pull away immediately. Yeah. He didn't. She kissed him and he let that shit linger for a little second, like a minute type shit. Yeah. And then he pulled away. So it's like, like you let that shit happen, man. Bro. You let that shit happen.
Come on, Slim. This nigga a predator, man.
But now he did something that pretty much set off the psycho shit, right? Because after he got seduced and he tried to stop it, whatever, basically, he brings home that Amy girl, right? The chick. So she's bad. One day she runs into the courtyard talking about Nick, my darling. Nigga was there talking to his new bitch son. So instantly she got the crazy eye, the eye twitch, all that other shit, and she's just looking, son. That
hating, mad as a bitch, hating this shit.
At that point, I knew that's when she was pissed, son. Whatchamacallit? So when that shit pops off or whatever else, he's trying to show off to Shorty that he got like a new whip and he painted it and shit.
Oh man.
He lifts that shit up and it says cocksucker.
That shit was funny as a bitch.
Yo. You know how much disrespect that is, son?
Bro, that shit was so fucking funny to me. Like, he tried to show off his brand new whip. Mr. Key cocksucker on his shit.
I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I would never accept that shit. You can't do that shit to me without no goddamn repercussions, bro, on everything I stand for. So it's like, to factor in, you just let a 14-year-old girl scratch cocksucker into your goddamn car paint, bro.
Bro, she called that nigga 99 times. He wouldn't answer. She said, fuck this. I'm finna key this bitch ass nigga car.
On God, because when he rejected her and shit like that, basically she deleted all his motherfucking files for work. He was trying to get his shit done. She got on calling. He plugged that shit out and she got so depressed she had a candlelight vigil.
That shit was insane.
She was sitting in her room crying with a candle in her hands, bro. I'm telling you, she's messed up, son.
Yeah, she is. But he still like triggered that shit. Like, it shouldn't even have gotten to that point. He just let this bitch do all kinds of shit. Like, bro, stop leading her on. This shit would have never happened.
Hey, but listen, man. At the end of the day, though, he has some reason to be upset because she's being mad intrusive. And I think one thing where she definitely went really far, like, was taking the picture of him and his grandfather, his father, or whatever. Because that was like the one picture of it he had. He already said no or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But this nigga did obviously a really fucking retarded thing and went into their house and went into her room to look for this fucking picture. And then he ended up in the closet looking at her while she's undressing and shit like that. And she knew he was in there. Like,
he was in awe, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, That nigga was in awe. Like, damn, this bitch bad, bro. That's a 14-year-old. Like, nigga, just close your eyes or turn around. You can't do this shit. This is a 14-year-old, nigga. What are you doing? He was in awe of her, and she just smiling like, yeah, bitch ass nigga. I know you looking at me. You saying you don't want no young bitch, but nigga, you into this. Like, that shit. I can't give him no pass, Slim. I can't do it.
It's like you shouldn't have been in the crib. Like, even if your shit went missing, yo, like, I mean, go nuke. Here's the thing, Pools. Like, I'm not gonna deny he's in an awkward position because he did take her to that pier and they did kiss. If she told her parents that shit, it's the instant nuclear option. So if he was to just go to her parents for anything, like the picture of his parents or anything like that, I feel like she could just instantly go nuclear. You remember how he tried to meet with them at the table after that shit popped off? And he was trying to talk to them and shit, and then she popped in the room and he got silent? Because son, she could just pull that card.
So I got two comments. One of them, I think, the character progression. So Pujols, like I was saying from the beginning, I don't think he had any ill intentions. As it progresses, he's kind of like walking that line of like, he's kind of liking her, but he's also trying to be like, nah, get away, like stop this or whatever. And so I feel like as it progresses, his character, he's walking that line. Like you said, he was actually looking at her when she was getting undressed. He let her kiss him and didn't pull away for a little second type shit. And so I think that's something with his character progression where he started to kind of get more into it. But I don't think he started out with like ill intentions with this situation. Now, a point that adds to me saying like I think he was stupid for most of this movie is like Luno said, he went into the house not because he wanted to see her, but because he went in there looking for a picture. The problem is you shouldn't have went into their house from the beginning. And so I feel like, and so I think that's kind of something to where it's like, okay, you made another stupid move like you've been doing this entire movie. Like you went into these people's house and hid in the closet. For one, bro, don't hide in the closet. Why would you choose that to be the thing that you do, hide in the closet? So I think that just adds to like some of the stupid stuff that I was saying. Like he was just being naive and dumb for a lot of the movie.
Now it could be the case that her manipulation was actually that good, yo. Maybe she is like an evil genius because I mean the string she can pull, it's fascinating. I mean the next door neighbor Cheyenne tried to warn this man basically about her and wanted to meet at a specific time and shit. Man shows up. Apparently, when they went horseback riding, she had a quote-unquote accident. Nah, that bitch tampered with her saddle so that shit would fail after the horse jumped, son. Took her out of the picture, son, and then pulled up and talking about she's not going to make it, son. What type of crazy shit is that?
She's so damn crazy that, like, she's seen Cheyenne and Nick have a little 10-second conversation. And she already assumed, Cheyenne doing some bullshit. Let me fuck her up real fast. They could have been talking about anything. Like, damn, yo, jealous ass.
I think part of it, Pujols, is that, like you said, teenage jealousy is a thing. But the other part of it is that she's really, like, psychotic. And so it's both of those things going together, her being crazy and also her being a teenager that's just jealous because she see Nick talking to another girl.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, on top of that, this dude, as he should, he actually gets some. Nick actually gets some pussy from a grown person. So Amy pull up and they in bed together and shit. They sleeping and shit. Adrian in the house standing over them, even though this nigga ordered the quote unquote kryptonite from the locksmith earlier that week, talking about give me the kryptonite, yo. Like he was really gonna change them locks and nobody could get in. Nah, yo. She's standing over the both of them and shit, yo. So
that shit looks scary too. Like
that shit was some horror movie shit, son. So then apparently she was Amy was going to do like some photo shit, like some photo processing shit. So she goes into one of those dark rooms and shit, right? Where it's like red inside and shit, and it's got no light from the outside. So she closed the door behind her and shit. And I don't know where this place is supposed to be at, but somehow somebody pulls up over there. Opens up one of the holes in the wall and shit and put some wasps in there, son. We know who the fuck it is. It's the same person that at a barbecue, somebody's going to get some wood for a goddamn s'mores and shit. And you gonna pull up on them talking about wasps hunting groups and all this shit. Yo,
how the fuck did this bitch get some wasp all the way to this lady little dark room? How did that happen?
you see, yeah. You
Did
see
she
that?
take a cab or she rode her bike with some wasp on her back? Like, how did that?
Yeah, like
how
what
is
are
this
all
possible?
these- yeah, exactly. Like, you know, but here's the thing: she's an evil genius. Like, we get it that she's highly intelligent. They tell us she's highly intelligent, and then she does this crazy shit, and we're just like, well, she can do that, I guess.
Fuck out of here, hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
she was getting away with a lot of bullshit, but the movie was so entertaining, I'll allow it. Fuck it.
But what's crazy is that that shit happened to Amy, and then Adrian comes through after bodying this nigga's bitch, talking about, you know what I'm saying, like trying to tell him about some urgent shit. The nigga gets a call when she pulls up. He picks up the call. Apparently it's you know, telling about the fact that Amy was in an accident and all this other shit. And then Adrian's all like, "Oh, Nick, I'm so sorry." And he's looking at her. He's putting the pieces together and shit, son. This nigga knew at that moment, son, like it was probably her crazy ass, son.
Hey, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So whatchamacallit? He was trying to move out, remember? He was trying to move out into that other bitch crib or whatever, but he went over there ready to move his shit in, and she was talking about some we don't let serial killers in here, like
oh yeah, serial rapists or some
serial
shit like
or some shit, yeah,
sexual
like,
some shit like that.
Yeah, some shit like that. Like apparently, like Adrian must have found some way to send a narrative over to her and shit so that she could change her mind about having this nigga live there, even though he was already set and locked in.
So one nigga came out the house and said, "I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to get up out of here." One, that nigga Nick got the fuck up out of there, son. He ain't want no smoke.
For real.
Oh my god.
So when he pulled back up to the crib, like, you know what I'm saying, thinking that, damn, I gotta plot my moves or some shit, police and shit is out in front of the crib, right? Man, he pulled up and said, "Hey, are you Nick or whatever?" Yup. Motherfucker said, "Step out of the car, please."
Oh no, we gotta talk about the like what led up to that though, bro. Like my man's is at his little, I don't know if it's a work ceremony or work meeting, like.
Oh nah, you're right though.
Yeah, that's how we got there.
Because
like
he showed up to a presentation or whatever else.
Yeah.
And Shorty arrived on the scene and shit because she was mad because of this nigga sleeping with the other chick and shit, son. I forgot what she said when he was over there.
That shit was awkward as a bitch. She walk up and, "Oh, hey, babe." Get a nigga a kiss on the cheek. My nigga Nick say, "Get on out of here." That shit was... She slapped the shit out of his ass.
Oh my god, son.
Nigga said, "Get on out of here." Then they just
then he did something else stupid, Puos.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
What did he do? He took her to that other
he took her to the and started like grabbing her, like he was trying to like make a point, but he was like putting his hands on her. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, Slim. I'm gonna give him a pass on this one because she been fucking with this man so much.
But do you not? But you gotta realize how it seemed. He's in public and she doing all this screaming, and it looked like you abusing her.
It also looked like a 14-year-old girl just gave you a kiss on the cheek and said, "Hey, babe," in front of a whole bunch of adults at your job. So it looked like you fucking this kid too. So he kind of fucked either way, bro. Like it ain't really anything he could do.
And yeah, so that's the part that led to the other shit. So
nigga said, "Get on out of here." That shit was
cold. That's cold though, son. I mean, he's trying to be low key about it, but you know how she always make the situation go crazy and blow up and shit. But in any case, like that shit pops off. Obviously, Amy survives that situation and shit like that. This nigga is trying to, you know what I'm saying, like figure out his moves and shit. But he pulls up to the crib and he gets arrested, on the charges of sexual, like or sexual or something of a minor, sexual assault of a minor, right? Then he keeps on saying he's innocent, but then when Red Foreman saw that nigga,
what Red do, Lolo?
Red Foreman, like it's just like everything, just like for a moment, it was just him and that nigga in the space right there, son. Don't say this nigga locked in like a fucking lion, fucking going after its prey and shit, dog. This nigga Red Foreman pulled up on Nick Elliott and was preparing to lay the craziest beat down that Nick Elliott ever had in his life. But luckily, the feds saved him. They're able to put him into the goddamn police car before things got out of hand. So, fortunately enough, Nick Elliott was able to live to tell the story, but Red Foreman, he's later going to be able to get his revenge. Nonetheless, honestly, the fact that Adrian went that far or whatever, she could have done it the whole movie. But she just decided now, you feel me? She could have really just said some shit after that one night by the water and shit, right? But she's been letting this shit play out for the longest while, but maybe she finally figured like she got to hit the big red button and shit. You know what I'm saying? And what's even crazier about this, which I'm sorry, bro, but this is like next level. Like I'm even mad that they wrote that a kid did this shit in the movie. Like, as evidence, she used the condom that this nigga used when he was fucking the Amy bitch on herself, so that there was evidence of his semen pause, like inside of her, bro. Which what 14?
What's that evil genius, sick ass shit, man?
Which 14-year-old is thinking of that shit, bro?
I don't fucking know, bro. Like, that shit was insane. Like, you're disgusting, and you're a piece of shit human being for doing that shit to that man.
I honestly feel like her father touched her when she was younger. And like she's fucked up now because she must have had some. Because how did she get this? Why did her parents take zero responsibility in all this? Why is it that they're just rich?
They didn't believe it. They didn't believe it at first. I remember that.
I mean, when you have like these super rich kids, like a lot of them be psychotic like that. I don't think.
Hey, and wasn't her parents like distant? Like they wasn't really around. They had like they was doing work stuff.
They couldn't have been around. They letting this bitch jump into a grown ass man room at 12 in the morning.
Oh, for real? Like they don't hear her getting up in the. How's she sneaking away so?
Nah, quietly? I think they wasn't around, Luno. I think that was part of the plot. Her family was like they used to work.
That scene where she was fucking screaming at night, any regular mother run into the room like, what the fuck going on? Nobody showed up. That bitch just
I think her parents was away for a lot of that.
That's crazy, bro. Like, but hey, man, this man was at his wit's end, and then she decides to hit the big red button to get this nigga in jail and shit like that for that shit. But somehow, I guess he clears his name and gets like a restraining order, right? All right, man, you got your freedom. You almost got fucked over completely.
I think they got I think it's the opposite. I think they got a restraining order on him.
No, it is. Yeah, exactly. Like he can't go within 100 feet or whatever. Yeah. So he's got his freedom. Basically, he's got to figure out a place to go and shit. He's got his bitch still. She's not dead. Everything's good. Alrighty. But who comes through? Cheyenne. Now.
Oh man, it's another. I'm gonna let you go ahead, dude. I gotta make a comment about this.
Yeah, like another goddamn kid waltzes into your goddamn apartment and shit, trying to talk to you, bro. But you know, you looking for anybody who believes in you right now. So you decide, I'll take this L. What do you want, Cheyenne? She's like, I know you innocent, bro. Matter of fact, let me tell you something. Adrian has a history. She used to have a crush on her camp counselor named Rick, not Nick, Rick. and Rick accidentally died from eating something poisonous. And so you start putting the pieces together at this point. I like how they did that in the movie. You're just like, oh, okay. So she's been doing this to mad motherfucker she becomes obsessed with. But Cheyenne basically says she keeps a diary in her room. And it could prove that you're innocent, basically. So he's just like, all right. Well, I have a restraining order. I can't be within 100 feet of her. So let me just go into her crib right quick and sneak into her room like I tried the last time, which is also really fucking stupid. Like, come on, man. Like, even if you found out about that shit, you already had your freedom, right? So you really could have just got your shit and got up the fuck out of there, right? But no, he decides I'm going to go back into Shorty crib. This scene here is a little bit wild to me. He hears like some noises after Cheyenne leaves and shit.
Before you get into that, me personally, bro, like we clearly said this nigga's a fucking idiot, but Nick, man, how? Come on, I will not allow this shit, bro. I cannot have another underage girl in my damn house at 12 at 12 at night again. And then the nigga like, yeah, you want me to walk you home, Cheyenne? Like, bro, you gotta let her just do her shit. She just gotta walk home by herself. Cause I will not be out with a kid at 12 a.m. again. I'm going to jail if anybody see this shit. I am out of here, bro. I am done.
Hey, Puos, that's what I was saying when I said I think this nigga lacks awareness. Like, he don't understand what the fuck is going on in this situation. Like, you shouldn't do this because of what's gonna happen. I don't think he get this shit.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't really. Yeah, he's not really just a predator. He just an idiot. But you're 28, bro. You gotta know
He
things.
should know better.
It's just that, usually with these characters, it's like they do dumb shit in the moment, but there's also something in their background that can kind of justify how they stumble. It's like, for all intents and purposes, Nick Elliott is a respectable young like professional that is like seen pretty well in his field and shit, right? So like, I would think this man has like the common sense to distance himself for optics
Exactly.
and all, just like this is not a good situation. But for one, they need a plot, so we won't have a movie if he doesn't do this dumb shit, I guess. But besides that, things are.
He might just be a loser.
Yeah, he really just could be like a fucking geeky ass nigga who would fall for this dumbass manipulation that this kid is doing. But nonetheless, look, man, he goes into that crib, he hears some weird ass noises or whatever. He goes into the he goes into the house. And he sees that fucking Cheyenne is like tied to like the fucking carousel and Red Foreman's fucking attic and shit. So Adrian like attacks this nigga, starts swinging at him with like a goddamn like a pole or like a railing or some shit. And I don't know how he couldn't subdue a little ass girl, but I guess she was strong. I don't know.
He pussy.
He weak as a bitch.
She beat his ass.
She was gonna kill that nigga.
Yeah, but she knocked him down the stairs and all type of shit, and she was about to like deliver like a final blow or some shit like that. And then I think her pops pulled up at that moment.
That's plot armor too.
Yeah, for real, right?
That nigga should have died.
She was about to like really kill this nigga right there, son. But then her pops pulled up and shit like that. And then I'm pretty sure that he got up or whatever. And then I guess they got into a struggle again, and then like the pops pulled up and saw, and they thought that Nick was the aggressor, and then he started trying to get on his ass.
She got on his ass.
He was choking the shit out of Nick, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like choking the shit out of him, and then Adrian crazy ass decided to hit her own father and shit, knock his ass out, and then he get up, and then she tried to attack Nick. All the while they're on a goddamn carousel doing this dumb shit. In any case, this nigga Nick decides he wants to be a real nigga in the last few minutes of the movie and just punches her square in her
Superman
shit.
Punched the ass.
And she went flying. I'm talking like her face probably had to be like surgically restructured after that punch. She got launched across the room, man. I don't know how he got that strong right there, but he definitely like might have killed her.
That boy, he was fed up. He had enough.
That nigga put all his anger into one punch, bro. That shit.
A better wife this whole movie. He was fed up with that
For
shit.
real, she could have died. Like I don't know, man. She's lucky to be alive, but
that bitch, she hit the shit out of her pops.
Yo, man. So
that shit's funny. That shit's still funny. I ain't gonna lie.
For real, in that universe, they're like Dragon Ball Z characters. They very like they strong as shit. They can take a lot of damage and shit. I don't know, but yeah, in the final confrontation, he ends up knocking her out and shit. I guess he ends up clearing his case after the fact and shit like that. But he ends up starting a new life with this Amy chick, right? We learned that Shorty, what's the fucking kid name again in the movie?
Adrian,
there you go. Is she in a mental ward now, right? Like a psych ward or some shit. And there's like this doctor and shit that she's seeing there now and shit, and she's writing letters and shit like that to Nick and shit. Nick is getting like a thing full of letters and shit, which is concerning because like how does she fucking have my address? But she also at the last scene in the movie and shit, she's looking on a tablet or something like that of pictures of the current like therapist that she's seeing and shit with their wife.
Yeah. So what I got from that is that the cycle fucking continued. The same shit that happened with Nick. She's falling for this new dude, the therapist or whatever he is, and so
Yeah, but
the cycle finna continue.
The therapist isn't stupid enough to fall for no shit like this, I assume.
Well, yeah, but I think that's what they meant to. Well, I don't know if he is or not, but I think that's what they meant to do with that. They was meant. She's still the same person. She didn't change, type shit.
Yeah,
She doing the same shit with him that she did with Nick from the beginning.
Was she still sending my man's letters though?
Facts.
Before we ended, like I forgot to say this shit when that nigga was like in the interrogation room. The detective said some funny ass shit. That nigga said, "Oh, you want to rape a little girl and act like she's crazy?" That shit was funny. That shit was funny as fuck, bro.
Hey man, and for you know what I'm saying, like out of context, like this nigga's right. Like it would be wild to be like on a case like that and like talk about something. That girl is crazy, man. I'm telling you, that shit would look next level. Son.
That nigga Nick, man, that nigga had a tough life, bro. Like I feel bad for him, but it's all his fault.
Well, I mean, he ends up, getting out of the situation fine and shit, which is consistent with the real life situation because half of that shit didn't happen in real life. But I will say that if that actual situation did pop off with all these details, don't think Nick would have gotten off. And I don't think they would have ever figured out that chick was crazy. So
thanks.
It is what it is. Are we gonna rate this movie or
let's do it? Let's rate it, bro.
Ah shit. Well, all right. Well, so man, look, the movie here was entertaining. It was concerning, but it was definitely entertaining. I will say that it's good for a drama because I think the stakes keep getting higher as this nigga mounts on more and more dumb decisions. Like you keep on realizing that there's more and more shit that could just go left. There's so many awkward situations that they put you in and shit, which makes you kind of uncomfortable, So I mean, I think the movie was just engaging. Like I could pay attention to it and shit. Like I'm caught up trying to figure out what the fuck going on and shit. I think the acting was good. I don't know if anybody could have ever played an underage crazy bitch any better than this Alicia Silverstone chick, but she did it extremely well. I thought that Nick Elliott was like a default character in an RPG. I don't think there was anything particularly special about him or his performance. I thought he was somewhat emotionless, so I don't think he deserves all the props. But shout out Red Foreman. He just gets points for being there. And overall, the shit was well done. I don't know if I'd recommend this one. I don't think it's ethical to recommend this one, so I probably won't. But I will give this movie a rating of, let's say, like a 7.2. Like a good film, kind of fucking weird, and also a little bit fantastical with the superpowered young woman that can do like mafia mob level manipulation shit. But we'll let him have it. It was an alright flick, man.
Alright. First off, I want to say, man, salute Dave for pulling up, bro. We really appreciate you being in this motherfucker. Real shit. But
salute to Dave.
Okay, bro. My regular human normal brain reaction to this shit is like, it's ass. It's terrible. But my entertainment, I like all this awkward shit that's happening to my nigga Nick Elliott. It was fire. So I'm going to say I will recommend this to like, and when I do recommend it, I'll be like, all right, man, this is like this shit a weird ass movie. Don't judge me for recommending this. It's fucking weird. Nick Elliott is a piece of shit. His kid Adrian is a piece of shit also. So just prepare yourself for some weird ass shit from this grown ass man with a 14-year-old crush. Like it's weird as a motherfucker. But okay, regular brain Pujols 5. Lordy Lord 8.2. I love this movie, man.
Let's go.
This movie fire. This movie fucking fire, bro.
Let's
go ahead,
go.
Slim, bro.
Yeah, and I gotta go off what I remember since I didn't rewatch it, and I do know that. So I originally saw this movie from Instagram. There was a trailer of it on an Instagram account I was looking at, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" And then I saw kind of some of the scenes through the trailer. And I was like, "Oh, this shit actually looked pretty good." And so that's how I got to the movie from the beginning. I think, like Poole said, it's a very entertaining movie. I think what's the most entertaining about it is the story. And I think a lot of the dumb things that Nick does adds to the entertainment of the story because without his idiotic shit that he's doing, like the story isn't that good. But the fact that he's making all these dumb decisions, it's like, okay, this shit, what the fuck is he gonna do? Like this shit is getting him into some shit right now. It's like it kind of turns the movie up because of the stupid shit he's doing. So as a character, he's definitely a dumb, naive character who, like somebody said before, all of this could have been avoided. However, we needed a movie, so it wasn't avoided. And it also, some of this happened to the director in real life. So I don't know how much of it, but some of this happened in real life. So for me, I wouldn't say it's unethical. It's like at the end of the day, I look at it like it's just a movie. And also it's the story. It's really the story behind it. It's definitely entertaining. I'll probably give it an 8 myself from what I remember since I didn't rewatch it. I'm gonna give it an 8 because I definitely remember enjoying it. I don't remember how good it was, but my mind is telling me 8. So with that being said, for The Crush, we got a 7.8 final score.
Fire. Alrighty, well, that was 1993, The Crush. Thank you for joining us for another late night edition of the Real Rap Coalition podcast. We are out.